We are back at the Forum Lab in Falmouth, where it is all about changing the way you move to get the most out of your workout. Andrew Blais is the co-founder and head coach here at the Forum Lab. Always good to see you.
Thanks for coming back.
And he's got a few exercises for us today that we can do at home with no equipment. And I guess that's the great thing about exercise.
Yeah.
You can kind of do it anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere, anytime. And it's super important to do.
Yeah.
And the things I'm going to show you guys today are very easy to do at your own pace at home.
Love it.
And they're important for just building a nice solid foundation
Yep.
and keeping that strong, healthy body.
Aaron Tangway, our 207 producer.
We're going to bring Aaron in.
Back with us. All right, what do you want him to start with?
We're going to talk about a bodyweight squat first. When we're talking about a squat, we're going to start with our feet in a nice, comfortable, about hip width distance. From there, there's a couple of key components that I want you to be thinking out. I'm sure a lot of people sitting at home have heard it's not good to send your knees over your toes, but that we gotta get that out. It's okay to have your knees going forward, and you actually want that in order to get quad access. Okay. So the very first thing, we're gonna start out with that hip width distance. Act like you're pulling the floor apart with your feet, and you'll feel, once you do that, you're gonna feel the outside of the legs engage. Then you know, okay, tension is here. From there, I'm gonna have that slight little rotation with the toes, and the knees are gonna follow that track. So the knees are not going forward, they're going slightly out, following that toe track, and I'm sinking my hips down here, trying to keep my chest as upright as possible, and then from there, I'm pushing the floor away, and I'm squeezing the muscles through my legs at the top. So I wanna almost not quite lock out the knees, but I wanna squeeze and engage everything from glutes all the way through the quads at the top. So these are perfect to start out with.
Yeah, if you want to make it a little more challenging for yourself, what can you do?
Yeah, there's a couple different things you can do. So one of the things is adding a little bit of tempo. So tempo changes everything up. If I go through the movement at this pace or at a nice, slow and controlled pace, this is gonna make that a completely different movement.
Awesome.
That, as well as you could do pulses, you could do single legs. There's a lot of different variations that people can do.
All right, what else can we have them do?
All right, so next I'm gonna show you a little something for the hamstrings and glutes, because these are important muscles that we often forget about, that are very important for keeping our low back health nice and strong. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start by laying flat on your back. From here, you're gonna walk your feet in, so your feet or your heels are kind of directly underneath your knees. And then from there, I'm gonna be pushing through my entire foot. So I want my toes screwed into the ground. I want my heels planted. I'm pushing through my entire foot. I'm picking my hips up as high as I'm comfortable with. I'm gonna pause there so I can feel the contraction through my hamstring, feel the contraction through my glute. And then I'm gonna slow and controlled bring those hips right back down. Here is when you can reset, take a new breath, squeeze the hamstrings, contract the glutes, and that is what's picking the hips up off the floor.
Awesome. All right, last one. What else do you have
for us?
for
All right,
us?
I'm gonna have you stay right down here, Aaron. We're gonna flip right over. So this is a good one to kind of pull those shoulders back, get you into that full range of motion through your shoulder joint so you don't get those sticks and those clicks there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out flat here. We're gonna extend our arms straight up forward. So what you'll notice when you're starting these is your body's gonna wanna compensate by picking up your sternum. We don't want that because, like I said, that's a compensation for lack of range and mobility through the shoulder, and that's why we're doing this exercise, to target that range of motion. So what I'm gonna have you do, Aaron, we can watch this one first and then I'll come over and help you through it. You're gonna raise your hands as high as you're comfortable with, not letting that sternum come off the floor. I'm staying down, I'm going through my range of motion. As I start to reach out to my side, I'm gonna rotate my palms up towards the ceiling, and then I'm gonna come back out. I'm gonna internally rotate them, and then I'm gonna touch back down. If you have some shoulder mobilities, this is gonna be tough, and what I would have you do is start with yourself elevated. Yep, and now we're gonna rotate internally, yep, to there, and then when we come back out, there you go.
Great
and then you're gonna touch back down. So there's a lot of range of motion happening. We're taking that shoulder joint through its full internal and external rotation and just getting it in places that it doesn't get to very often in our day-to-day life.
And are there ways to add a little more resistance to it as well?
So with lack of equipment at home, I would grab something as easy as like a Poland Spring bottle, a water bottle, where you're adding just maybe a pound of resistance. A pound of resistance when you're going through those intricate ranges is gonna make a big, big difference for that. And if you don't want to go into adding resistance or weight, we can just focus on the range. If the first few, you only got those hands about 6 inches off the floor, see if next time when you're doing that rotation, you can get about 7 inches off the floor and try to progress that way, where you're just getting a little bit more range each time through it.
All right, I'm gonna help you up.
Thank you, thank you.
Blais at the Form Lab, always good to see you.
Thank you.
And if you want to try out these exercises for yourself at home, just head to the 207 section of our website and app. Aaron, great job again. Always proud of you. We'll be right back.